theme this month is joy, and what better way to get started? Yes, I'm delighted to have my friend Yusuf Agur here to sing with us. We did make some changes to the program, so that was La Donna Immobile by Giuseppe Verdi, and we are going to end the service. Our postlude will not be La Donna Immobile, because we just sang it. The postlude will be O Sole Mio. So look forward to that.
Well, we didn't need a speaker system for that. That was joyful. Thank you. Well, good morning, everyone. It is very wonderful to see all of you here this morning, newcomers, longtime members, and those watching online. My name is Preston Wilson, and I am pleased to be your celebration associate this morning. May we gather together to nurture our connections, seek inspiration, and embrace change. Joy is our theme for April. The road can feel long in the end, unwritten, but joy is the spark of energy that keeps us going. What brings you to joy? Who brings you joy? And how can we share in our own spark of joy? What brings me joy is seeing America waking up to the existential threat that Donald Trump and the Republican Party present to our UU values, our Constitution, and our democracy. We share our own spark of joy with others by uniting with them against this authoritarian movement that is wanting to carry out a complete coup and make Trump a fascistic dictator. We will indeed feel a blaze of joy when he is defeated in the polls in the midterms. We have many activities this week. Please read the announcements in your order of service, which includes a QR code, or check the sanctuary screens to learn more. If you are new or visiting for the first time, I invite you to fill out a yellow pew card and place it in the offertory plate. You can also drop it off at the welcome table in the parlor after the service, right through these doors. This is where we usually have coffee, snacks, and conversation after the service. And in the spirit of intentionally gathering in community, let's now take a moment and switch your cell phones off to silent mode. All right? And now let's take another moment to greet the people all around us. The chalice today will be lit by Michelle Butino. Please join me in saying the chalice lighting words. We light this chalice for the warmth of love, the light of truth, and the energy of action. Thank you.
I am tempted to just let the sermon go and just, couldn't you do like a few more songs? Right? So you ponder that. I don't want to put you on the spot in front of everybody else, but we gather today in the belief that joy is not a luxury, but a birthright woven into the fabric of our existence, something that is ours by virtue of our humanity. Our joy is a refusal to be reduced to fear, to despair, to a life half lived. In the words of Bell Hooks, renowned African-American feminist, theorist, activist, visionary, life-transforming love acts in a way that awakens us to the truth that we are all connected, that we are all in this together. This love is the foundation of a just and loving community, and it is the place where we can find joy, even in the midst of struggle. So let us enter this time again in celebration of the gift of our lives, knowing that joy in all its forms is the resistance that keeps our souls alive. Please rise as you are able. Let's see. For our hymn. You're going to do it? Oh, Emily, you're always right there ready.
I am. I believe we have some friends that Madeline came and asked to do baskets for us. We've got a new side with love collection for this month, which you can find in your order of service. And I'm going to invite you to rise and join me in body or spirit for our opening hymn, which is 1060. As we sing of hope and joy, you can find the words up on the screen or in your teal hymnal.
As we sing of hope and joy today, some know the anguish and despair. How can we lift our voices in this way, while some have pain and misery to spare? If a crumbling world we would renew, we must sing no ordinary song. Peals from a noisy gong will never do. In every breath compassion must belong. Let this song our greatest hopes contain. Laughter of a well-fed child its tune. Roofs over every heartbeat its refrain. Its harmony from peaceful cities hewn. Sing of joy while hammering each nail. Sing of hope while pulling every wing. So shall we sing together and prevail. May every hallelujah bear us seed.
Good morning, friends. It's always such a joy to be here with you. This is a time where I invite up anyone who is young or feeling young at heart to come up to the steps for our time for wonder. Hi. I was just thinking that. Would you like to open up the Wonder Box today? Come on up, friend.
In more than since 2025 began.
You think since the new year you haven't even opened it? We want to take it out? Take it out and show everyone. What have you got?
Drink it.
You want to drink it? I mean, you could, but before you do, as Preston and Reverend Janet were saying, this month we are exploring the practice of finding joy. And I wonder what a cup of water has to do with finding joy.
Yeah.
What do you think?
When water goes into your body, it helps make you healthy. And sometimes when you're healthy, it makes you feel more happy.
Water does keep you healthy, and it does make you feel more happy when you're healthy. Absolutely. I think that's true. So, did anyone else notice anything about this particular cup of water? What do you think, Gwen?
It has bubbles in it.
It does have some bubbles. Helen?
It's round.
It is round. Yeah, Allie? It's half full. How many of you think this cup is half full?
Not half empty.
How many of you think it's half empty? Oh, right? Well, I know. I guess that it is completely full. There is water and air, yes.
Trying to empty or fill it.
That's true. So I guess you're all correct. As Helen said, it's just a matter of what you see. So today we're exploring finding joy in hard things, right? When things are hard, it can be easy to only see the negative and to say, oh, this cup, it's half empty. But we can redirect our gaze from the empty part, the hard things, to focus on the full part. We can see that joy in there, and we might say, oh, awesome, this cup is half full. Did you want this? It's just water. No? You don't have to have it. All right, good. It's a big reminder of when things in our lives are hard, when things in the world are hard, if we're able to keep the possibility of joy in our sight, it can shift us from a time of emptiness to a time of joy. So with that in mind, I'm going to tell you a story, and it's called The Story That the Phoenix Told.
Phoenix.
Yeah.
I like phoenixes. They're from Harry Potter, and I'm a Harry Potter.
I also like phoenixes.
They're cats, right?
They're birds. So once long, long ago in a faraway land, there lived a magnificent phoenix. Her feathers glowed with the colors of the sun, beautiful shades of gold and crimson, red and orange. She was so beautiful that the human beings of the land thought that she carried bits of the sunrise on her wings. But she wasn't only known for being beautiful, but being very wise as well. And it was her wisdom, that the people turned to one dreadful year when there was a great storm that swept through the land, leaving destruction in its wake. So full of despair, the people went to the phoenix and they said, "Great phoenix, whatever shall we do? How can we find hope when everything feels lost?" And the phoenix responded by telling them a story. "This is the story of how I came to be," the phoenix began. "Long ago in my very first life, I lived in a land of eternal spring. The days were gentle and the nights were calm. My feathers were colorful, but not quite as colorful as they are now. One day the land was struck by a fire. Flames consumed everything in their path, including the tree that held my nest. I fought to escape, but the fire was relentless. It consumed me, and in the blaze, I felt the searing pain that reduced me to ash. Yet, as the fire burned, something extraordinary happened. What I thought was my last breath filled my lungs with a new strength. And with that newly discovered inner strength from the ashes, I began to stir. Slowly, I emerged, reborn. And I looked at my feathers, and I saw that the fire had not destroyed them, but had made their colors more vibrant than before. Through the years, this happened over and over again. The pain of the fires that I have endured, not destroying me, but leaving me more stronger and more beautiful than ever. So friends," the phoenix said, "I ask you this. Look around at the destruction that the storm has wrought. Are you sure that rubble is all you see?" And with the phoenix's story and question filling their minds, they looked at the debris around them. Just as the phoenix had found new strength in her ashes, the people noticed a new type of power among them as they found strength in sharing their burdens and working together. The fire that the phoenix experienced made her feathers even more beautiful, and the people noticed a new and more beautiful type of love arise between them as they realized that they didn't need to heal and recover all on their own. And through this realization, the people found more strength, more beauty, and even more joy than before. Thank you, friends. Did you want to add something? You've been waiting so patiently.
Did you guys know that when a phoenix dies?
Yeah.
You said that in the story, but I have something else.
Yeah, I did say that when a phoenix dies, what happens?
It turns into flames and then a baby.
It gets reborn. What did you want to
Yeah.
add, friends?
So, a phoenix's tears can heal any wound.
That is part of Phoenix mythology. That's right. It's not part of this story, but that is part of Phoenix mythology, that their tears have healing properties. All right, friends, so when we're faced with challenges, we can find joy in working together and helping one another, in being part of community. And finding joy is also part of how we resist and how we counter that hardship, how we embrace our own light and the light of the world around us. All right, parents and caregivers, if you have not signed your young person in for religious exploration yet and you would like to do so, I'm going to invite you to join Madeline and I in the parlor.
Can I drink this?
You can drink that, yeah. And I'm going to invite the rest of you to sing us on our way with Where You Go. Thanks, friends. Where you go, I will go, beloved. Where you go, I will go. Where you go, I will go, beloved. Where you go, I will go. And your people are my people. Your people are mine.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Lloyd, and I'm going to read you the joys and sorrows stuff. And it's the first of the month, and I forgot, the first Sunday of the month. So, important thing to know is there are two different ways that your joy and sorrow or appreciation can be submitted for inclusion on Sundays. You can send notices to joys and sorrows at uuithaca.org by 9 a.m. on Sunday morning, or fill out a green card before the service and place it in the basket inside the parlor door. Then when considering what you might want to say in your joys or sorrows, please know that these services are live streamed and available to the public on the YouTube channel, in perpetuity, if you will. So, in a spirit of reverence, love, and care, we take time now to bear witness to some of the joys and sorrows of our community, to share those events that call for our prayers and support, our praise and celebration. From Jackie Jablonski, the Code Blue team deeply appreciates the generous donations that so many of us made last month to the Tompkins County Emergency Housing Shelter. The shared plate collected $283, and the Side with Love collections yielded several enormous bags of food and other helpful items for our neighbors in need. Those who were in the shelter when these items arrived asked that they tell all of you people, thank you. Sadly, the county will close its shelter later this month until next winter when Code Blue season returns. And a sorrow from Emily Richards, whose uncle passed away yesterday. She asks that we hold Emily and her family in our hearts as they navigate their loss. And for those we are holding in our thoughts, in our prayers, in our hearts, perhaps in our prayers, I messed that up. Into this community, into this space of healing and hope, let us call these names out loud. Or speak them in our hearts. We extend loving kindness to all in our world. Let us remember to extend loving kindness to ourselves as well. Today, tomorrow, and beyond, let our hands be outstretched in kindness. Let us keep showing up to our lives and each other with an open heart, no matter what. Love and courage to us all. Blessed be, and amen.
The meditation for today is a riff, actually, on a poem by Reverend Lynn Unger. Her poem is entitled The Last Good Days. It is entirely possible. It only gets worse from here. The weight of sadness pressing against the chest, the chaos of a world that cannot seem to settle, and the impossible task of finding peace amidst the storm. But even in such moments of despair, the heart can still open, still soften into the vastness of experience, like the earth holding the weight of all that grows, even as storms sweep through its surface. How can you leave your heart open to such a vast, pervasive sadness, though? You might not all of the time, and not without effort. But perhaps it is not about leaving your heart open so much as it about acknowledging the grief that finds its way in. That grief is a river. It carves out spaces in your soul. It asks you to surrender to its flow. But you do not drown in it. You rest in the currents, allowing the waters of your grief to touch you. For even as you feel the ache, you begin to sense the soft pulse of life that still beats. And that pulse, steady, is enough. How can you close your eyes to the riot of joy and beauty that remains? Perhaps in the frenzy of suffering, it is easy to forget, but it is there. In the way the sun touches the earth at dawn, it is in the fragile, fleeting moments of connection. It is in the warmth of a hand held, the vibrant colors of the world unfolding before you. You see, beauty does not ask for permission. It simply exists whether you see it or not. It is not a matter of closing your eyes to the sadness, but by opening them to all the beauty and joy that is still here, right in front of us, waiting to be seen.
Each week, we take an offering to sustain the important ministries and programs of this congregation and its presence in Ithaca. Giving to the plate is important. It's a symbol of our gratitude for this service and our ongoing commitment to support the work of this church. For those watching remotely, follow the instructions on the screen. For those attending in person, our ushers will pass the plate. Please join me in saying the offertory words. May these gifts bring about connection, inspiration, and engagement within these walls and beyond.
This joy that I have, the world didn't give it to me. Oh, this joy that I have, the world didn't give it to me. Don't you know that? This joy that I have, the world didn't give it to me. Oh, I said the world didn't give it, the world can't take it away. Oh, this strength that I have, this strength that I have. This strength that I have. said the world didn't give it, the world can't take it away. All this peace that I the world didn't give it to me. The world didn't give me my peace that I had. Oh yeah, now. The world didn't give it to me. Won't you sing about this peace that I had? Oh yeah, now. The world didn't give it to me. I said the world didn't give it. The world can't take it away. All this joy that I have, this joy that I have. This joy that I have. Oh yeah, now. The world didn't give it to me. The world didn't give it to me. This joy I said the world didn't give it to me. Don't you know that this joy that I have, the world didn't give it to me. Oh, I said the world didn't give it, the world can't take it away. The world didn't give it and the world can't take it away. The world didn't give it, the world can't take it away. The world didn't give it and the world can't take it away. The world didn't give it, the world can't take it away. Give it and the world can't take it away. The world didn't give it, the world can't take it away.
Resistance Revival Chorus believes in the words written by the poet Toy Darracott when she wrote, "Joy is an act of resistance." We believe in the words of Mr. Harry Belafonte, who said, "When the movement is strong, the music is strong." We sing to revive the hearts of those who fight for social justice, and we sing together for freedom.
See, I didn't know you'd be here to help us to feel joy, so hopefully this is a great compliment. I can't hear it without crying, so I may cry through this too, and that's okay, right? Yes. Joy whispers, though, often, gently urging me to pay closer attention. It doesn't often knock at the front door of my heart or wait for an invitation. As Alex Hale, a writer and coach, beautifully began her monthly blog, you see, the presence of joy is felt even when I am in the tenderness of my grief, my not-so-good days, and my sadness. What strikes me most about joy, she writes, is that it doesn't demand that I release my anger, disappointment, or healing for it to arrive. Instead, it invites me to sit with all of my feelings. This month, joy almost always slipped through the side door of my life. Subtle, ordinary, nearly invisible, yet undeniably present. And so it was for me too, on a day some months ago, much like today, heavy with the weight of this time, when this joy just appeared on my YouTube feed. I wept then, as I said, every time I watched it, and I watched it over and over. Those magnificent voices sent pulsing joy through my weary heart. It's no wonder that this song so deeply continues to inspire so many of us, women of color at the center of this piece. Despite their remarkable achievements, many of them are professional singers in theater and successful women, and the many accolades they have earned. They continue, as we know, to exist in a culture that at any given moment can and does seek to strip them of their dignity. Joy rooted in the defiance of the harsh realities of living in a racist, misogynist culture is nothing short of revolution. It challenges the forces meant to break the spirit and divide communities. Any scholar of American history will tell you that with every step forward in progress, a regressive, persistent force deeply entwined with our violent history, rises again and again in opposition, fierce and unyielding, often cloaked as it is right now in the guise of legitimacy. Those living at the society's margins have never had the luxury of ignoring that constant, pervasive undercurrent. For that reason, this song, this blog, serves as a vital call to us. Joy as resistance bestows dignity. It gathers us from the edge, it challenges our despair, and reminds us that we are connected and not alone. That call regrounds us in the soil where the vision for the good and the just can take root in the rhythms of our daily life. It is both a healing balm and a rallying, radical call. And yet joy can feel so elusive, especially in these times, right? This is where we start crying again. Many of us, shaped by a culture that unfortunately has led us to equate joy with comfort, success, or ease, don't know where to look for joy when the world feels like it's falling apart, like right now. But theologian C.S. Lewis, in his wonderful book, Surprised by Joy, offered me a perspective that resonates with what I experienced listening to this joy and listening to this magnificent singer this morning. He wrote of experiencing joy as a piercing, unbidden ache. I lost my place. Towards something transcendent. Did you feel it? This taking you to some place you didn't know you could go in the midst of your sadness. Not a shallow presence, but a glimpse of the eternal breaking through even in suffering. C.S. Lewis speaks of a stab of joy, sudden, inexplicable, holy. It mirrors the joy, I believe, that is in the defiant songs of this joy and so many others. Joy not as a distraction, but as a deep memory and future hope that we can hold in our bodies. A joy that insists that we are made for more, even as the world says otherwise. In times when the weight of the world feels unbearable, of course it is easy to lose sight of it. But joy almost always can be found in the smallest unexpected places, right? Nodding. A laugh shared between friends. How you just spontaneous began clapping to the video. The feeling of connection when we help each other can evoke a sense of joy. A piece of art or poetry that speaks directly to your heart. We should all be looking to art and reading lots of poetry. A book that offers wisdom when you most need it. Or just a simple moment of peace in the chaos of this time. These remind us that even in struggle, life still has the capacity to surprise us with joy. These moments, though often brief, stir something worth savoring. You see, joy is often, unlike this morning, not often loud or constant. It's often in those unnoticed moments where we just catch ourselves, our hearts are caught in that moment, where we reconnect with something beyond ourselves. Just the profound silent joy of feeling fully alive. One of Lewis's most powerful revelations for me is that joy cannot be pursued directly. The more he sought to recreate his past experiences of joy, he said, the more elusive it became. He said, no. Joy is the byproduct of being fully present when we are engaged in acts of love, connection, service, trusting that joy will always find us there, but often when we least expect it. Joy found me this past Monday, maybe some of you were there too, at a small booth in Press Bay Court, where the air was sweet with offerings. Anybody remember? Treats donated from local vendors and hands gathered for transgender kin to celebrate Transgender Visibility Day. God, I love Maureen Kelly. Everybody should love Maureen Kelly. She does amazing work in this community. Where cisgender folks like me were invited to lean in and to write anonymous love notes that could be tucked in besides cookies and goods for people to take. Joy found me, of course, yesterday when I joined so many others. How many of you were there marching through our city? Look around, folks. Look around. proclaiming, what did we proclaim? Hands off. Like many, I have struggled to find my place in these tough times, whether it's planning for mutual aid, marchings, writing protest letters, oh my God, every direction, right? But these efforts collectively have often felt like faint whispers against a force that will not listen to our calls for decency. Yet yesterday reminded me, I'm trying to remember that whispers, even whispers, carry weight when shared, like the hurried notes on Monday held in love. The bodies that gathered yesterday, surrounded by signs and chants, planted seeds in the fertile soil that is our beloved community. In resistance itself, we can find not only meaning and purpose, but joy, even as justice remains unseen. I have to tell you, as I arrived at this point in writing this sermon, first, theme of joy, I have to say, maybe I should have chosen another month. I was like, really? But a deep sorrow settled over me, a heaviness that has not let go. That march yesterday, as much as it was important and vital, left my heart so raw, split open with both grief and, most importantly, rage. That last person I saw heading home was Edna Brown. Where's Edna? She was here. Edna. So if you don't know Edna Brown is our unofficial photographer of everything that happens that's good in Ithaca. I think we can give her a round of applause for that. I love that about you. But you're the last person I saw before I went to my car, and Edna said, holding her camera, if I had been able to carry a sign, I would have had it read, I am marching especially for those who are afraid and can't. Yeah. That heaviness followed me through the door as I returned home. But grief, as it often does, made unexpected room for something else. As I reached for comfort, I found it waiting quietly on my bookshelf. There it was, one of my most beloved books, published the same year Trump first took office, The Book of Joy, a luminous dialogue between His Holiness the Dalai Lama and the late Archbishop Desmond Tutu. You may recall Tutu had traveled to Dharamsala to mark the Dalai Lama's 80th birthday. What wonderful timing. One of the most powerful lessons, of course, and we know this, but they have such credibility in bringing it to our ears. Suffering, my friends, is inevitable, but joy remains a choice they made over and over. Their dialogues explored how each managed to allow to not let their suffering and grief to define them. They talked about how they had to work with their grief to have it transformed into sources of needed wisdom. They spoke of practices that help them to turn their pain into a path toward healing and connection. The Dalai Lama, you may know, I imagine many of you do, engages in a meditation each day on behalf of those who cause harm. Archbishop Tutu, shaped by the trauma of apartheid, drew a course on his Christian faith, but equally so with the African philosophy of Ubuntu. I am because we are. For both men, joy was a deliberate response rooted in love, justice, and spiritual resilience. They outlined 8 pillars of practices that sustain joy in living in a time of struggle. I want to briefly just share those 8 pillars, but mostly I want you to encourage to go find the book. Really. Back to that part. The book that you most needed to hear, most needed to read, was the Book of Joy for me yesterday. So perspective, the first 4 are about the mind, training of the mind. Reminds us that we need to step back and see our struggles as part of a larger human story, where we step back and see suffering as our shared experience. It will help us to continue to build empathy and resilience if we can open ourselves to the larger story, The thing about grief is it makes you turn in. The goal is to open up. Humility softens the ego and helps us to find our place. It's a reminder of the equal share of vulnerability and the need to honor it, to actually respect it, that we are feeling really vulnerable. Humor. Now you know, right? Can you not think of the Dalai Lama and Desmond Tutu without smiling? Their infectious laughter. It's not just an instinctive thing on their part, although maybe it was, but they also understand it as a spiritual tool. It softens the ego, it opens up connection, it enables you to feel a little less of yourself as at the center. It keeps you possible of being lighthearted in the most, I watched the Book of Joy after reading it. Again, if you need a little break from the misery, watch it. This is the really hard one, acceptance. Acceptance encourages to accept and embrace what we cannot change. But it is not about resignation. It is not about passivity. It means that when facing injustice, acceptance helps us preventing us from being consumed by our anger, frustration, or despair. I don't mind the grief. I think grief opens us up. My rage is not my gift right now. It just isn't. Acceptance allows us to acknowledge the truth of a difficult situation without getting overwhelmed by it, creating space, and this is their key, for thoughtful and compassionate action. The first person I saw at the rally yesterday was, I want to say an older woman. I like to say that. I'm 66, but she was clearly older. So an older woman. That felt good. And she just held a sign. Actually, she didn't hold it up. She held it here, and all it said was, "Love trumps hate." And I wept. The heart-centered pillars that deepen this practice, first, forgiveness. Forgiveness frees us from the emotional weight and anger and resentment, allowing us to move forward. If I am holding a place of ache where there is a need for forgiveness, my soul needs that right now so that I have the resources to show up in this moment of history. So practice forgiveness for those at your side, in your world, in your community. Your heart needs that space. Gratitude helps fix our focus to what's good. You helped us today. Compassion. These are obvious and yet often elusive. When I am rageful, I can't say that my compassion is front and center. Compassion nurtures connection by extending kindness and empathy to others, especially in their suffering, reaching out with care to those who we know were afraid to show up yesterday. That's compassion. And finally, generosity, whether in time, love, or resources. Thank you, community. This is a community of very, very much generosity. In a time where so many of us feel discouraged, I hope I have convinced you that joy is truly an act of resistance. It is a celebration, a declaration that hope still exists, that love is still possible, that life is still worth celebrating. This does not mean about ignoring or minimizing sorrow, but knowing that sorrow and joy so often coexist. It means choosing to notice the small blessings to give us strength for the journey, the kindness of a friend, the warmth of community, amazing music, things that the world cannot take away. It means knowing, as that hymn reminds us, this joy, this peace, maybe just bring your hands to your heart, this joy, this peace, this hope, the world didn't give, and it cannot take it away from us. This joy is not something we chase, but something we create, moment by moment, breath by breath, through love, connection, and the choices to keep our hearts open. Even now, joy is waiting. It is within us, between us, beyond us, May we each trust it and share it and live it. So may this be so.
I invite you to rise now in body or spirit to sing our closing hymn, Come and Go With Me to That Land. And I know when I was selecting this hymn, I knew what Janet was speaking about today. I was thinking about this land is not someplace far away. It is that kingdom of God, of hope, of love that we create right here. So let's sing it into being.
Unitarian Universalists clapping and singing. This is not historically our strength, folks. I think we did a really good job. Nothing like an awful time in the world to make it possible, right? My friends, beauty and joy do not ask for permission. They simply exist. May we trust it, may we share it, may we live it. Blessed be. And now the best part.
We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. Our service is ended. Let our true service now begin.
Share
Go, go in peace.